Howdy, folks, and welcome to the Free China live stream. I hope everybody's good. And this is your place every Thursday at 8 o'clock where we get to make fun of the CCP like this.
You serious?
So anyway, guys, let's jump straight into it today. We've got quite a lot to talk about, so let's get to it. Okay. So, first of all, we have this guy. Okay, so this happened in Tokyo in Japan on August the 15th. Apparently, it was the 79th anniversary of the Japanese surrender in World War II, and there was a Chinese nationalist at this place in Tokyo. It's God, what's the name of this place now? It's I can't even. Sorry, guys, it's just completely slipped my memory. But it's a very important place in Tokyo. I've actually been there myself. I can't believe I didn't even make a note of this. But anyway, he's in Tokyo in Japan. He's surrounded by Japanese people, and let's watch what he does.
因为中国人，我怕你们吗？因为中国人怕你们吗？啊！怕你们！因为中国人怕你们！你没种，你有没有勇气？你没有中国人有勇气，不要在窝里横啊！用意这个，没勇气就不要横。 什么也不是，知道吗？
Okay, so obviously this guy is a little upset. Now, we all know that Japan did some pretty awful things to China before and during the Second World War, right? We're all well aware of this. But, you know, this happened like 80 years ago, 79 years ago or whatever. You know, the Japan of today is not the same Japan that did all of these terrible things during the Second World War, right? You know, it's not as if all of these people are walking around wearing Japanese military outfits from that time period and saying like, you know, let's go around and kill all of these Chinese people, right? So yeah, this Chinese nationalist has just gone there and just started causing trouble for no reason, really. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a pathetic nationalist. And it really pisses me off because these asshole nationalists, they always go to another country and start acting like the big man, you know, like just acting up as if they're the boss, you know, shouting at the locals and calling them weak and getting all political and, you know, actually standing up for their rights. But when they're in their own country, they're just brought to their knees, quite literally, as we'll see in the next clip. And it just really annoys me that, you know, when they're in another country, they suddenly have this courage. Now, fortunately, not all Chinese people behave like this, obviously. Not all of them are nationalists like this moron who's in Japan. But yeah, more often than not, they will, when they go abroad, they will still have this nationalist attitude because they've been brainwashed. And when they go abroad, they suddenly feel emboldened to behave like this. But when they're in their own country, you'll see. Get up! literally on their knees, don't have anything they can say to make the situation better because they have absolutely zero freedom of speech or zero rights. So when they go to other countries, they act all tough. You know, we're Chinese, we are strong. But in their own country, man, the government just walks all over them and they don't have anything that they can do. As we just saw from this clip, they're literally on their knees. And that is pathetic. Okay, let's jump straight into this next one then. So, do you remember this guy from last week? Let's just give you a little bit of a refresher.
You can't decide for any decoration of the hotel. So the
But this is my,
decide, yes, it's not
but this is my motherland. You know, my
Yes, I know.
who have the power to.
This is the management service.
So, yeah, you can call it.
Okay, so this guy. So he went into a hotel in Paris. It was an Evergreen Laurel Hotel, which is Taiwanese owned. And he asked them, he saw a bunch of flags hanging up because obviously it was the Olympics and they were celebrating the fact that the Olympics was in Paris, and there was loads of different countries' flags hanging up in the hotel, and they didn't hang up a flag from China. They didn't hang up the Chinese national flag, or as I like to call it, the communist flag. So this guy got a little bit annoyed. Apparently he'd booked a room in there, but he cancelled the room because they didn't have the Chinese flag hanging up. And it was all a stunt for this guy because he is a social media influencer, I guess you could call him. And, you know, would you be surprised if you were to find out that this idiot, this twerp, is linked to the CCP and China's United Front? Well, it turns out that he is.
The power.
Obviously, right? I mean, as if we didn't need to be told that, but obviously he is linked. Here he is. Oh, yes, my friend, you have been busted. Okay, so this dude, let's just get to his profile here. Okay, I translated this for you guys. So this guy's name is Zhang Zhao, and he's a nationalist social media influencer from China who goes by the name of Instructor Zhang. Okay, and he revealed that his video of him going into the hotel, which, by the way, that video that I showed you, this one, got millions of views on Chinese social media, right? So on Weibo and on Douyin, it got millions and millions of views. And he basically said that his video got approval by a French-based branch of a Chinese-backed organization called the China Council, Chinese Communist Party-backed organization, for the what's it called? The China Council for the Promotion of Peaceful National Reunification. Oh, by the way, did I forget to mention that the hotel chain is from Taiwan? It's a Taiwanese franchise. So he made this video for this organization called the China Council for the Promotion of Peaceful National Reunification, and it's a Taiwanese franchise hotel. Okay then. And this group are linked to China's National Front. And look, so here he is hanging out with all of these CCP guys, going to their little meeting. Look at them all with their flags, waving them around. Here he is at the meeting, talking about his video. He takes the mic. Look, he's a pretty important guy in this group, apparently. Look, he's got all of their attention there, sitting at the table. So his video was approved by this organization that are linked to the United Front. And here's the document to prove that. Here's the translation. So it had instructions on August 11th to 15th, 2024. Instructor Zhang's Interest in Life, that's the name of his channel, filmed a video related to the Evergreen Laurel Hotel in Paris, France. The content and pictures are true and comply with the relevant regulations for external release. They safeguard the peace and reunification of the country and can be released to the outside world after review or release. So that's from the France Association for the Promotion of Peaceful Reunification of China, August the 15th, 2024. What the actual hell? So this group is linked to China's United Front. And what is the United Front, I hear you say, Lewis? Well, the United Front is a political strategy of the Chinese Communist Party involving networks of groups and key individuals that are influenced or controlled by the CCP and used tests. Okay, so the United Front Work Department, department of the Central Committee of the Chinese Communist Party, okay, they gather intelligence and attempt to gain influence over elite individuals, both inside and outside of China. They focus their work on people or entities that are outside of the CCP, especially the Chinese diaspora who hold political, commercial, or academic influence. Basically, anybody who is useful to the CCP can be used to push the narrative effectively, and they try their best to just neutralize, to completely wipe out any political critics, and they try to keep them divided. So they're just basically stirring up this massive confusion and throwing out all of their propaganda. And this video from this Zhang guy, Mr. Jan Zhao, or whatever the hell his name is just one of them. And here he is. So this whole thing, it's not just some influencer. Like, they always try to make out that it's just some harmless influencer making a video that they decided to make, right? But it's not. Okay, this is being orchestrated by the whole CCP. This is government backed. This is not just some random guy who went in and got upset because he didn't see his country's flag. This is the Chinese government getting pissed off because this hotel did not put the flag up. I mean, what a bunch of just absolute losers and hypocrites, you know? I mean, this is absolutely no coincidence that this was a Taiwanese-run hotel franchise, right? This is no coincidence at all. And they're just trying to stir up nationalism for the people who were watching the Olympics, and also, you know, the Chinese diaspora living in Paris. They were trying to get them on their side. God, it's just pathetic, right? At a really important time like the Olympics, they really, really just wanted to push that soft power propaganda. You know, and apparently I also read somewhere that some China travel websites removed the Evergreen Laurel, that's the name of the hotel, from its listings because of this whole situation. So now Chinese people won't be able to go and book into that hotel just because some idiot was upset that they didn't have a flag there. God. And they probably also just wanted people to feel sympathetic to China being discriminated against, apparently. But seriously, they failed big time. They failed big time because of their arrogance, because they're just, man, you know, the simple fact is, it was Taiwan that was being discriminated against in the Olympics. They were the ones who weren't allowed to put up their flag. They weren't allowed to play their national anthem. They weren't even allowed to be called Taiwan. They had to be called Chinese Taipei during the Olympics, right? And this guy's annoyed because his flag wasn't up in a hotel. The Chinese Communist Party are pissed off because their flag isn't up in a hotel, but the whole of Taiwan, they were basically like banned from being able to truly represent themselves at the Olympics. If anyone's going to be pissed off, it should be Taiwan, right? But they're not pissed off. They just put their heads down and got on with it because that's just what you do, you know? You just ignore it. You ignore this big crybaby bully who's, you know, trying to just push their way into everything. You just ignore them because that's the best way to deal with it. You know, obviously a lot of Taiwanese people were offended by the fact that Taiwan has to be called Chinese Taipei, but they still did the best that they could and they just got on with it, you know? But yeah, so anyway, this guy, he went back to the hotel with his commie buddies from the United Front Work Department, whatever the hell they're called. He went back to the hotel with his buddies, and he actually spoke to one of the managers, and he persisted in getting that flag hung up again. But obviously, if we watch this, they weren't really having any of it.
我看来是所有在这个世界上面的大国，你们都挂上了，唯独没有挂中国的国旗，因为大国的国旗你都挂上了。你看，美国、加拿大、还有澳洲，连越南都有。我们看到这个事情，我们感觉非常心里很膈应。
When I see this sort of thing, I feel uncomfortable. So literally, the translation, you know, he's like, 我的心里很不舒服. My heart feels uncomfortable. In my heart, it feels uncomfortable. Ah, poor you. Here's a little violin playing just for you. Ah, your little flag didn't get to get hung up in a hotel room. What about Taiwan, where they can't even put their flag in front of the whole world on international television networks throughout the world, and they have to be Chinese Taipei, and then you guys even try to claim their medals? But no, your little flag is not in the hotel room. Oh my god, this makes me want to do this. I want to throw up.
不舒服。其实，在我看来，是所有在这个世界上面的大国，你们都挂上了。我们看到这个事情，我们感觉非常心里很膈应，很不舒服，心里很膈应，很不舒服，心里很膈应，很不舒服，心里很膈应，很不舒服。
So this guy, yeah, he really, he's really pissed off a lot of people, and that includes people from Taiwan, right? There are Taiwanese people who are also living in France, who got really, really annoyed with this guy because, you know, the whole hypocrisy of him getting upset that there's not a Chinese flag up in this hotel, and yet Taiwan can't truly represent itself on the world stage, and they're getting banned from using their own flag in the Olympics. So yeah, this guy got really, really pissed off, and yeah, decided to take it out on the Chinese flag. Now, I am not saying that this is 100% okay, you know. I don't think it's so great to be like destroying other countries' flags and that kind of thing. But given the situation, I'm going to give this guy a pass. So here it is. This is what I call poetic justice, and this is the revenge of Taiwan against China for this dumb flag twerps move, you know. So let's have a look. And he's outside the same hotel. Yeah. And he's got his Taiwan sign up there, which is one of the signs, that was getting snatched away at the Olympics, right? Yes. Okay. So like I said, it's not that cool damaging another country's flag or doing that, but you do see it. You do see it, if and in this guy's case, in the case of Taiwan and the whole Olympic thing and this whole situation, I really decided that Scotland could not represent itself in like the World Cup for football, right? And it had to be called North England or something stupid like that, right? I'm pretty sure there would be a lot of Scottish people destroying English flags. You know what I mean? So I guess it was the same sort of thing. So yeah, it is just ridiculous, but it's funny, and I think that in this situation, yeah, it's perfectly all right. Okay, anyway, let's continue with the stream. And somebody said that the stream has frozen, which it definitely hasn't. So I'm going to carry on. What is going on with this?
心里很膈应，很不舒服。其实，在我看来是所。
Okay, so let's continue. So we have this whole situation with this game called Black Myth Wukong, which everybody's talking about at the moment, so I decided I would just throw it in here as well. So Black Myth Wukong, or Black Myth Wumao, as I'm calling this whole ridiculous situation. Okay, so let's see what's going on. But first of all, China's video game history. Just going to give you a little quick lesson with our old friend Lewis. This is from one of my previous videos over on my YGZ Taiwan channel. And I just want you to watch this quickly because this is quite relevant. It's talking about all of the stuff that China bans. Let me just get myself out of there. Alright.
Animal Crossing, this world building game with these cute little characters, and you can go online and you can build your world and trade things with your friends. Well, that was banned for being too subversive, because I guess the Chinese government doesn't like the idea of being able to go online and talk to other people that might have differing opinions to the narrative that they're trying to produce. Battlefield 4, a game that had a fictional narrative where it depicted China and Russia joining forces to combat the USA, was also banned. I guess that you're not allowed to make up stories about China and be a little bit creative. You've always got to show China in a positive light. A horror game called Devotion was also banned because the programmer of the game put in a little Easter egg where it had on the wall a little stamp, and it said Xiao Xiong Weini Xi Jinping, Xi Jinping Winnie the Pooh. That game was also banned because the president of China is really insecure and can't take it when somebody just calls him a silly name and compares him to a cartoon character. There was a game in 2005, I think, it was called Football Manager, and it was also banned because it had Tibet as a separate country. From the year 2000 up until 2015, video games were actually banned in China, and you literally had to go to these underground electronics markets and just randomly ask vendors if they sold video games.
Okay, I'd better not play too much of that guy's video because he might he might do a copyright claim against me. So that was one of my old videos. That was, man, was that really 3 years ago? I can't believe that. But yeah, that video is from 3 years ago. But China has this long history of banning video games. And obviously, you know, because they think that video games are subversive and they offer people a chance to sort of think outside the box and come up with ideas on how maybe to overthrow the government. You know, especially online games, people can communicate with each other. For example, that Animal Crossing, a lot of Hong Kong activists during that whole umbrella movement, they used that game to really like make fun of the CCP, but also to communicate with each other, because a lot of their social media was being blocked by the government at the time. So it gave them an arena to discuss things and organize events surrounding their activism. The CCP really doesn't like video games. Also, you know, there's that whole thing where they've tried to limit children playing video games to only, like, you know, a few hours a week or something like that. So it's pretty crazy in China. So there's this little game. It's being released at the moment. It's called Black Myth Wukong. It's an action role-playing game developed and published by Game Science. The game is inspired by the classical Chinese novel Journey to the West. As you can see, you've got the Monkey King character there, and it follows the monkey based on that character, Sun Wukong, from the novel, The Journey to the West, right? Okay, so the developer, like I said, is Game Science. They're a Chinese video development and publishing company, headquarters in Shenzhen, and the game was marketed by Hero Games, who are also a Chinese company based in Beijing. So what the hell is the big deal about this game? And by the way, it looks pretty cool. If I just take it back there, I mean, look at this. This looks like the type of game that I would like to play. You know, it looks like it has a bit of a role-playing element, a lot of action, some cool graphics. Looks like a very, very good game. So what the hell is going on with this? Why is there such a big deal about it? Like, why is everybody talking about this? It is a little bit crazy when we get to it. Let's watch this monkey kick some other creatures' asses for a couple of seconds. And the monkey got some like weird tentacles there. What the hell is that? Is this like Elden Ring? Are there going to be like loads of big bosses everywhere? And, you know, I don't know if you guys have played that game. But yeah, okay. I think I included too much footage of this game, didn't I? Probably going to get copywritten. Alright, so what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is this document came out. Let me get myself out of there so you can see it. Okay, this document making very strange demands from creators, from the creators of the game, in order to receive a stream code to play the game. You had to abide by these rules. This was before the game's debut. Hero Games, the ones that I said co-published and marketed the game, and a major shareholder of Game Science, sent out this do's and don'ts list to international content creators. Okay, so here's the list. Do's and don'ts. Do's. Enjoy the game. Duh. I mean, yeah, you're going to enjoy the game, right? Do not, and don'ts. Do not insult other influencers or players. Fair enough, you know? Fair enough. Do not use any offensive language or humor. Well, fuck me. I guess I'm screwed. Do not include politics, violence, nudity, feminist propaganda, fetishization, and other content that instigates negative discourse. Okay, so the whole feminist thing is very, very, very weird. I'm gonna quickly link in an article. Okay, you guys can read that in your own time. Why is that not sending? There it is. I'll link that. You guys can read that in your own time. Okay. But the whole feminism thing, this apparently started. The game development company apparently like has a history of sexism, and being in China, well, that really, really doesn't surprise me. China is a very sexist place. Believe me, believe me. Where I've lived in China, I've worked in China, sexism is a huge thing in China. Okay, so apparently the developers were making sexist and misogynistic remarks. And you can, I'm not going to get too much into it, really. You can go and check out that article that I've linked in. Because it's it's pretty messed up, to be honest with you. It's pretty messed up. But yeah, please go and read that article when you've got some time. It's very interesting, very, very interesting. So yeah, so the next one, the next don't. Do not use a trigger words such as quarantine or isolation or COVID-19. Well, obviously, COVID is a huge and sensitive issue in China, but why the hell would somebody reviewing a video game about a goddamn monkey from Journey to the West start talking about COVID? What has that even got to do with the game? You're just a monkey running around, you know. Just seeing it there makes me want to talk about it, you know, because obviously the whole COVID thing happened in China. It started in China. It's basically China's fault, well, the Chinese government's fault that the whole thing spread around the world as much as it did. You know what I mean? But what the hell, man? It's a game about a freaking monkey, like. The goddamn monkey, what's his name again? Sun Wukong or whatever, just running around, being a freaking monkey and killing other monkeys. And what the hell has that got to do with COVID, quarantine, or isolation? You should probably isolate this game because it sucks. You're lagging, bruv. So are you, Sid Vicious. You're totally lagging too. Yeah, I mean, whatever, man. Maybe check your connection. But yeah, like seriously, what is going on with that? Like, don't talk about COVID or isolation. And the next one, let me just take myself out of there. Do not discuss content related to China's game industry policies, opinions, or news, etc. Why on earth does a reviewer have a list like this telling them not to talk about politics? I mean, I've said it like a few times now, but it's a goddamn game about a monkey. And what this shows is it shows a paranoid China, you know, a place where you can't even play a video game without worrying that you'll say something on a stream that will upset the fragile little pink's hearts. They censor everything in China, including video games. It's just one of those things, you know, but why on earth are they trying to tell influencers from other countries what to do? They can't, you know, they can't dictate to other countries, people, international influencers, how to review their game. If somebody wants to review a game and talk about the awful injustices of the CCP, then why the hell not? You know, when they put out a list like this, it actually makes people want to talk about it, and they've just kind of like shot themselves in the foot with this one, haven't they? Because this really, really does make people want to talk about it. Which is why I'm talking about it right now. You know, if they didn't put out this list, if they just released the game, nobody would be talking about it. But now all I see is articles about this, and it's blown up. maybe this was a really, really clever marketing campaign from them, because that is all it can be. I mean, Jesus Christ. It must be just a really clever marketing campaign. I mean, does the game suck that hard that you need to market it like this? For me, that game looked pretty good. You know, I might actually want to play it, but probably not now after seeing this. You know? So yeah, that's why it's blown up. It's, you know, it's all over the place. I've seen loads of videos online about it. I think all of the major China vloggers have covered it, right? I've definitely seen loads of them talking about it. If they hadn't have released this stupid list of do's and don'ts. Oh, man. Anyway, so that's the whole, whatever this game's called, Black Myth Wukong palaver. Yeah, and it just makes me feel sick to the stomach even thinking about it. So yeah, guys, that's all I wanted to talk about today. It's a bit of a shorter stream. I just wanted to no pun intended, to streamline it a little bit more, because the other streams have just been going way over time, and I think like I want to stick to at least sort of under an hour would be perfect. So I'm just gonna quickly do a little bit of shameless self-promotion now. I'm not going yet, William Edward Heckman. Don't worry, he's wrote "Bye guys." We're not going yet. Don't you worry. But yeah, the CCP is just really, really, really insecure about everything. Okay, guys, I just wanted to plug this stuff while we're here, because I don't do it enough, and I've been told that I need to plug it more. A lot of people keep telling me you need to just keep talking about it, because that's the only way you're going to get people interested in it. So this is my channel, obviously, and please go and subscribe if you're not subscribed. But also, you can join my channel and become a channel member. It's for a small amount of money every month, but it really, really does help me. Helps me to create better content. If I've actually got more of an income coming in, I can afford to go and do more things and make better videos for you guys, because I often like to go out and make cool videos. I don't just like to sit in this like room all of the time talking to the camera. Also, you can make a one-off donation. If like that whole monthly thing isn't your stick, then please you can send a one-off donation over PayPal. All of the links are on my channel, and this is Patreon. I just opened this a couple of weeks ago, and I only do a £3 per month thing on there. There's no other like hidden fees or anything like that. It's £3 per month, and you will always, on channel members, and if you're a patron, you will always get access to videos before everybody else does. So this is my newest video. I was going to say my newest visa. It's my newest video, and it is hilarious, and it's possibly one of my best videos that I've ever made. So here it is. It's called Visa Denied, and I went into the Chinese embassy. Not the Chinese embassy, sorry, I'm not with it today. The China visa office in London, and I asked them if I could get a visa for Taiwan there. And then this whole situation just escalated. And yeah, it got a little bit crazy. And that's possibly going to be released tomorrow. We've also just got some other content on here that you might not have seen. For example, my hilarious appearance on Chinese TV, where I was a judge on an English speaking competition. That must be worth a watch. We got stuff about, I went to interview the Falun Gong about Krusty and his harassment. There's another video where I went around asking people which flag do they like better, Taiwan or China's flag. That was on the streets of London. Another video about Krusty harassing the Falun Gong. I interviewed two of them, so I made two separate videos. Another one of me going to buy a beer and not using any cash, living in the cashless society. sort of critiquing the shills, how they're always going on about that cashless society in China and how you're allowed to drink a beer on the street, therefore it's a good country. So I went onto the streets of the UK and did exactly the same thing. And yep, obviously we've seen that one. But yeah, so there's a few videos there that maybe some of you who subscribe to the channel haven't seen, right? So yeah, please, if you can, please go and check out those links, check out Patreon, check out the channel memberships, and check out just maybe the one-off donation if you fancy that. Oh, and speaking of donations, thank you to Jacqueline, who just gave me a super chat for $4.99. That was excellent. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. So guys, that is it for today's stream. So let's see. Let's answer some questions in the chat for a little bit, because we've been going for 46 minutes now. Yeah, sorry if this stream was a little bit all over the place. I had that technical issue earlier, which thankfully I got sorted out. But yeah, man, let's just let's watch that clip again, actually, because I feel like, because I screwed it up, I think we need to watch it again, don't we? Okay, there we go. And why aren't you playing? Oh dear, what is up with this crap? Okay, play. Oh, there we go. I love it. Let's turn the sound off while I answer some questions. Okay, so let's see. Lewis, I always... Sid Vicious, sorry, I'll say your name because I can't put your comment up on the screen, unfortunately. But yeah, so Sid Vicious says, Lewis, I always share your vids and channel on all my social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram. Sid, I appreciate that, my man. How's Johnny Rotten these days, by the way? Falco says, you've put out some really good content lately. Nice one. Thank you so much, mate. I appreciate it. There's more great content coming soon. It's only going to get better on this channel. I know it is. I know it is. Let's see. Fact checker. The Chinese embassy one is funny. Oh yeah, have you seen it? Are you one of the channel members? I don't know. Okay, JH, why isn't anyone making videos on Guelo60 now that he's expatting in the Philippines? It's quite simple, really. He's kind of just not worth making videos about, to be honest with you. The videos on him don't get a lot of views because nobody gives a shit. And yeah, kind of moved on this channel as well, really. You know, I mean, talking about the shills all the time just makes me do this. So it's not good. We don't want to always be focusing on those guys because there are bigger and more important things to talk about, right? So yeah, that is why, because nobody cares about G60. Okay, anybody else? You got anything else? Okay, Sid Vicious. Lewis, my question to you is, what are your thoughts on rumors that Xi had a stroke and his health isn't well? Well, I mean, Xi Jinping Pringles, I was about to call him. Let's see, how old is he? He's pretty old. Let me check. He's 71 years old, right? And he's not exactly like in peak physical condition, is he? He doesn't look very well. He's just eaten too much pork, I think. Just look at him. He's a very rotund guy, is what I'm trying to say. He's not a healthy dude. So if he did have a stroke, well, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he did have a stroke, because he's under a lot of stress, a lot of pressure. You know, it must be difficult being the top boy in such a volatile place where he has lots of enemies who would love to see him go down. It's a very corrupt environment in the CCP, in that National People's Hall or whatever they call it. It's very, very, very volatile little place. So if he had a stroke, yeah, possibly. Would we know about it? Probably not. So I think that that was just a rumor, and that is all it was. But yeah, it's quite amusing. Okay, Falco, is that a can of beer behind you? Drink it on the streets, mate, because you can. Yeah, it is actually. Forgot it was. Oh no, I just knocked off Starship Enterprise. Oh my god. Yeah, that's like a Desperados. I haven't drunk it yet. Good stuff though. Okay, second question, Lewis. What are your thoughts on China Observer channel on YouTube? Do you watch it? No, honestly, I don't watch it because most of the stuff that he talks about is stuff that I've already seen or heard about because I have people sharing stuff with me all the time. So it is good to have other people's opinions, and I would say watch as much as you can about China if you're truly interested. But for me, because I get all of the information already, so I kind of don't I honestly don't watch any of the other China YouTubers anymore. Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? But I like to sort of do my own research and form my own opinions generally. So yeah, but it is quite cool. It's quite cool. I have watched a couple of his videos, obviously, and yeah, it is cool. So Hadley Bradstone says, I want a CCP flag, Matt. Where can I buy one? You can just make one, mate. It would be quite easy. Fact checker says he did come out of hiding and welcomed the dopers coming back from the Olympics. Yeah, I saw that. I was going to talk about that in today's stream, but I've already done too much Olympics stuff, and it's kind of Olympics overkill, so I didn't want to overdo it. Wheezy Squeezebox. Just subscribed. I became aware of your channel during the panic at St. Pancras train station with Brendan. Have you ever been to China? Do you speak Mandarin? Go and watch some of my videos and come back is all I'm going to say. I don't need to answer that question. Barry the Super Scott says, I like the new background on the live stream. Thank you, mate. It's actually an old background. This has been used in some of my videos as well. What was I going to say? Yeah, the whole thing, like, I get a lot of people. I don't know if this Wheezy Squeezebox person here is being sincere. But yeah, I don't know. Because, a lot of people, they always come into my comments and they're like, have you ever been to China? Why are you talking about China? Like, I mean, but it's like, sure. Just because if you haven't been somewhere, you can still talk about that place and you're still allowed to talk about that place. But yeah, I've been to China. 我以前住在中国。所以我会说中文, ha ha ha. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, my Chinese is just average at best, but yeah, I lived in China for a while. I do speak Mandarin, and yeah. Anyway, Sid Vicious. Final question: your opinions on the Mehdi Hassan interview with Victor Gao. Interested to know your thoughts on the Xinjiang topic. I've done many videos about Xinjiang. So I reckon, Sid, you probably already know what my thoughts on the whole Xinjiang topic is. So yeah, I'm not really going to get into it too much right now, if that's alright with you. Okay, Wheezy Squeezebox. Not even the China show or China Uncensored. So funny, so much snark. Yeah, honestly, like, I just don't watch it. I'm sorry. I just don't watch it. I don't have time to watch it. I'm busy, like, doing my own stuff generally, so yeah, I just nowadays I just don't really watch it, I'm afraid. Okay, remember Pianoman Square? Sure. Okay, Sid Vicious says, yes, he has. Please watch his videos. Lewis is super interesting. Thank you, mate. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Lewis is an honorary citizen of Taiwan. I wish they'd give me citizenship there. You know, I'd go and live there. You know what I mean? Let's see if we can make it happen. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Do we have Wheezy Squeeze Box? Totally sincere. My son married a Chinese woman and they're planning a visit in September for a month and I'm really worried. Well, you shouldn't worry. Don't worry about it. Everything will be okay. You know, I mean, unless this happens. Oops, don't know what happened there, but there we go. Unless that happens, then, you know. Alright, guys. Well, I guess not many people are chatting. I guess not many people are here. That's fine. The live streams have not really been getting much traction lately, but that's perfectly fine. I do not expect huge numbers on this thing because I'm pretty all over the place with it, you know what I mean? So I totally get that. But anyway, I do appreciate all of you guys who have joined today because I know it's not easy sitting down watching a guy talk for an hour, which is why personally I definitely prefer making the videos. And wow, have I got an interesting video for you guys tomorrow. And perhaps you would like a little preview of that. Would you like to see some of that video now? Oh, actually, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna wait until tomorrow for you guys to see it because I'll ruin it. It's like a spoiler. It will totally ruin the surprise. But I think you guys are gonna love it. You guys are gonna love this video. If you love my content, then you guys are gonna love this one tomorrow. Trust me. So yeah, okay. Let me see. A few more comments coming in now. Okay, let me see. Fact checker. I think I would live in Taiwan or Japan. It has everything I like there. Yeah, Taiwan has everything. It's awesome. Barry the Super Scott loves living in Taiwan. I don't blame you, mate. Falco, how many DVDs do you own? You have shelves of them. Yeah, that's not all of them as well, man. They've got loads of DVDs. loads. I mean, yeah. I've been really loving these ones lately because because I was living abroad for so long, I had no idea that the Creep Show TV show exists. So I decided just to go out there and buy every single season. I had no idea it existed. You know, I was away for too long. When you live in a foreign country, you're totally out of the bubble of like the whole entertainment industry in your country. So yeah, it's crazy. Okay, what else have we got? Gutter oil. No, the next video is not about gutter oil. I just got here. I was staining my picnic table. Oh dear. Staining your picnic table. That sounds a little strange. Yeah. Okay. Barry the Super Scott is in the UK for a month. Sucks, doesn't it, mate? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna surprise you with that video. I'm not gonna play any of it today. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yeah, I've got that somewhere. Oh man, where is it? Oh, actually, I think it's in another room. I have got it though. I do have it. Oh, Blu-ray. You have Blu-ray. Sure. I mean, I never got into the whole Blu-ray thing because like I already owned all of the DVDs, and I have to I don't like because when VHS became obsolete and you think I've got a lot of DVDs. You should have seen my VHS collection. It was massive. And yeah, I had to buy all of my DVDs, like buy the same film again. So I really begrudge Blu-ray and this whole 4K, Ultra 4K, whatever the Ultra HD, whatever the hell it's called. That really pisses me off, you know, having to always buy the same film again just because the previous technology has become obsolete. It's ridiculous, and I refuse to do it, so I'm not going to. And yeah, I have the BBC version of Hitchhikers. I don't like the film. The film's lame. Yeah, so Blu-ray sucks. It's not slang for something else. I'm actually staying in my outdoor furniture. Yeah, I mean, it did sound like a bit of a euphemism there, mate. Alright, guys, anyway, that is it, I'm afraid. Thanks for joining me today. Hopefully see you tomorrow in the next in the video. Please, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all of that cool stuff. And of course, I'll see you all next week live every Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. Greenwich Mean Time in the UK. We are live here on Free China. Alright, guys, thanks again, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now.